You guys hear that?
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the
Yeah. Yeah. Indictments are coming, folks. It looks like Donald Trump. Ooh, he's going to have to face a judge soon. We have 3 real good cases coming down the line. Let's talk about those. Let's have some fun with it. So we have got Alvin Bragg. Let's have a look at this, actually. We've got Alvin Bragg. Here we go. With hush money payments, that case. We've got special counsel Jack Smith with the stolen documents case, as well as election interference. And we've got Fani Willis with Georgia election interference. Oh boy, oh boy. All of these are pretty realistic. All of these have a decent chance of coming real soon. Question in the poll, which I'm going to ask you. Let's call you the Senate. The smaller group who is going to watch during the live stream. Vote in the poll. Let me know which one of these folks you think is going to go first. I'm also going to ask the House, the people that watch the recording of this later. So if you're listening to this and it ain't live, there will be a link in the description. Go to that community poll. Tell us who you think is going to be the first to indict Trump. And then I'm going to ask a third group, a secret, lesser-known group of lobbyists called the Members. But we're going to refer to them as lobbyists now. What they think. I'm going to total up all of those polls, and tomorrow, on Salty Saturday, I'm going to reveal the winner, who the wicked community believes is going to be first to indict Trump. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm excited, man. Let's look at some of the coverage of these recent developments. If you weren't aware, what we have now, in my opinion, is essentially, Christ Jesus, is essentially the audition for Attorney General. One thing I feel is that Mayor Garland ain't it. He doesn't have the pepper necessary. But we have 3 candidates that really are making a strong case for themselves for that role. Let's have a gander at Lawrence O'Donnell first up, discussing the developments that we found out about yesterday. Here it is.
Well, the breaking news of the night is that the Manhattan District Attorney could soon become the first prosecutor in American history to charge a former president with a crime. The New York Times was the first to break the news, reporting the prosecutors offered Mr. Trump the chance to testify next week before the grand jury that has been hearing evidence in the potential case, the People said. Such offers almost always indicate an indictment is close. It would be unusual for the District Attorney, Alvin L. Bragg, to notify a potential defendant without ultimately seeking charges against him. In New York, potential defendants have the right to answer questions in the grand jury before they are indicted, but they rarely testify. The Washington Post is quoting a Trump advisor tonight saying, everyone will advise him not to go in. Of course, no one has to advise Donald Trump not to go in and testify under oath. This is something he lives in fear of.
I mean, right? The guy cannot have a conversation about things he's won without lying about it. Look, I don't like it, but he won the race for president in 2016. When he talks about that, he lies and says that there were secret votes. There were secret votes that weren't counted. I had a massive crowd, bigger than Obama's. This guy cannot not lie. In a court of law, he is going to get effing annihilated. If he ever has to test, I think, look, I'm not his lawyer because I have self-respect and no law degree, but I don't think that second one is as important from what I have seen of Trump's lawyers. But if I were his lawyer, for the entirety of these criminal cases, I would not allow him to testify because he cannot not lie. So, yes, I think Lawrence O'Donnell's onto something there.
The Manhattan investigation is focused on the $130,000 that was paid to actress Stephanie Clifford, also known as Stormy Daniels, during Donald Trump's first presidential campaign. That was a hush money payment to prevent Stormy Daniels from telling the story about the one evening she spent with Donald Trump in his hotel room 4 months after his current wife gave birth to his last child. The payment worked, temporarily at least, and kept the story quiet until after Donald Trump was elected president.
If ever, we need an argument against the pressures of capitalism, unregulated capitalism, it is that Stephanie Clifford felt enough need for money that she had sexual intercourse with Donald Trump. Ooh.
The payment to Stormy Daniels was arranged by Donald Trump's operative Michael Cohen, who was convicted on federal charges in that case. Michael Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison after admitting under oath, as prosecutors told the court, quote, he acted in coordination with and at the direction of individual one. All of Michael Cohen's crimes in the Stormy Daniels case were committed in coordination with and at the direction of Donald Trump, who
individual one, they said, who went on to win the office of president. There's no question about who individual one is.
Was individual one in those federal court filings. It remains a mystery why the same federal prosecutors did not go after Donald Trump for the same crimes after he left office, but it appears the Manhattan District Attorney is now doing that. Michael Cohen.
We did talk a little bit about why they don't in yesterday's stream when we were looking at Untouchable by Ellie Honig. It's frustrating, but I understand it. I will say, to sum it up, a lot of it comes down to simply tradition. There's a tradition of not going hard against the powerful. Following those like if they would have ceased to follow some of those traditions in the name of getting Trump, the Justice Department in the United States was worried that it would appear like Trump was being treated different. My suggestion is that that is a good thing. He should be treated different. He acted different. His behavior, I think, necessitates the strictest possible treatment because it is the most blatant, the most obnoxious, and absolutely deserves to be scrutinized heavily. And we should say, legal safety's off, folks. If it's possible to go after this guy, they should have. That said, I'm loving what we're seeing so far, and Lawrence O'Donnell is about to give a great breakdown of the cases against him. We also have some Midas touch with breaking news today about Jack Smith. So let's watch him do this breakdown and hear the summary of where cases stand right now. And see what we think for the poll.
Cohen told the Washington Post tonight that he has met with the district attorney 19 times, and tomorrow he will meet with the Manhattan district attorney for the 20th time. Michael Cohen told the Washington Post that he has not yet been called to testify to the grand jury. So the Manhattan district attorney is closing in on Donald Trump. District Attorney Fani Willis in Atlanta, Georgia, is closing in on Donald Trump and has said charges are imminent. We already know that a Georgia grand jury recommended that several people be indicted in the criminal investigation that involves Donald Trump. And Special Prosecutor Jack Smith is investigating Donald Trump for 2 separate sets of possible federal crimes. One involving Donald Trump's possession of government documents after he left office, and the other involving Donald Trump's actions leading up to and on January 6th. So there are 4 separate criminal prosecutions that are closing in on Donald Trump. And you
remember, though, this guy appears to have committed 56 crimes from 2015 till now. And I didn't even include, when I did that massive breakdown of all the unanswered crimes, I didn't even include the fact that while Michael Cohen was in prison, Trump appears to have made it worse for him because Michael Cohen was going to publish a book. That's also a crime. 57 then. But for the sake of simplicity, my point is only that 4 crimes out of 56 is not asking much. Hell, we're still looking for 1. We want to know who has the courage and the ability to put together a case against this punk and go get him.
have to ask yourself, what are the odds? What are the odds of Donald Trump escaping charges in all 4 of those criminal investigations? If Donald
Goose egg. That's a big old goose egg, gang.
Trump is going to be criminally charged in any one of those investigations, it is going to be this year. 2023 is going to be the year in history when the first former president of the United States is charged with a crime. It'll be the year for the first time that happens. Or it's going to be the year when Donald Trump finally gets all of his criminal legal problems behind him. And if Donald Trump is charged with a crime, it might actually help House Republicans because it would take attention away from the way they are humiliating themselves in their own hearings just about every day now. The Republican House of Representatives did not present their budget for the federal government today because they don't have one. Instead, they held clownish hearings in which the Republican members of the committees and their witnesses were humiliated repeatedly by the truth.
Let's hold up. Let's make it easy for editing Jake for a second here. So, and I'm going to talk through this just so it's not painfully boring to you. All right. So before we get on to that, let me just put a pin in what Lawrence O'Donnell said there. 4 rather serious cases. 4 cases where it seems probable that that Donald Trump is going to get indicted. Not just let's where you could make a strong case, let's say, that Donald Trump will indeed be indicted. What are the odds that he's going to skip all of them? I really don't want to commit to saying that there's no way he gets away with it. We've never before had the courage to actually hold a former president accountable for a crime. But that said, I mean, my God, if it is still possible to have a fair trial in a sane country called the United States of America, there's no way this guy isn't at least getting indicted. There's just no way. Again, I'm committing to that. I shouldn't. It seems unlikely. I would say outlook is good. What can you do? Contact the Justice Department. Tell them, good job. Go get him. But really, at this point, with the way it's going, we do have to just watch. We got a live poll. It's in the live stream right now. It will be linked in the VOD later, the description. Go vote in that. We're going to announce the winner of the live poll at the end of the live stream. But we are going to total up all the votes between the Senate here in the live stream, the House in the community tab, and the people that watch the VOD later, and the lobbyists. Because I'm going to do a poll for members. I'm going to total up all of those all of those votes, and on Salty Saturday, it's tomorrow, we are going to announce who the wicked community believes will be first to indict Trump. And then we'll have fun from there.